Public hearing is now called to order at 6 PM on Tuesday, October 22nd, 2019. Hearing is being held, let's try that again. This hearing is being held as required by the provisions of Chapter 131, Section 40 of the General Laws of the Commonwealth, an act relative to the protection of the wetlands as most recently amended. Notice of the time and place of this hearing was posted in the town hall. Persons wishing to be heard will be called in the following order. So first order of business is minutes for approval from September 24. We have nothing to
So it was
Suggest.
Bob and Heidi and Everett.
we have nothing to
Were there?
changes. So if somebody's willing to make a motion to accept this presented, I'll accept
Make
it.
a motion be accepted.
Second?
All in favor? That's unanimous. Ted Lock abstaining, he wasn't there. Meeting mail, Merle, do you have meeting mail?
No, we don't. There isn't anything.
No meeting mail. Next, discussion on remote participation policy. Review of matters presented, votes may be taken.
Oh, that's right, we gave you that last meeting, remember? And, you guys were gonna have to vote to adopt it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't find it, I'm sorry.
Do you want me to come forward? More people?
Oh, do you wanna wait till this one, that full board here? So everybody's familiar with it?
I think Ted could probably use a review. How about the two of you? Did you read it all? Do you understand?
I looked it over,
Yeah.
I personally don't think that that's the way that we should do public business.
Hmm. And it can only happen when we already have a quorum here.
Right.
There has to be a quorum in this room, and then the other two.
I don't think they do really public use it.
That's nice.
No, I mean, because if you're, yeah, if there's a quorum, then you have anybody else to call in.
Yeah, it didn't strike me as anything you guys would use very
I
often.
don't think we worried about it.
Once somebody's planning on moving to Florida for the winter,
Hmm.
Hey.
someone in Fayetteville's doing that.
Really?
Right, and is that why this came up here then?
I don't know why that came up. I didn't hear any background on it.
Well, I think,
Like I said, I don't think it's really, this would suit this board.
no, I agree with you. And if we ever get to a situation in which one of us is going away for the winter, then we can revisit the issue then.
Okay.
So,
Still need to get some of the board members.
yeah, we still need one more. Yes, so for those of you that, again, we are still in need of one more commission member to give us a full complement of 7. So if you're interested, please contact the agent. The phone number here at the office is 9980202. And she can fill you in on the details, and there might be a little bit of detail on the website for the town. I
Oh,
think,
yes, there might be a sign on there.
Yeah.
I've asked them a couple times to put on the
Okay.
title sign.
And just explain what we do here, and in short, it's our job to enforce the Wetlands Protection Act for the state of Massachusetts. So our jurisdiction is wetlands, buffer zones and river buffer zones, those things. It's a good chance to see the town's natural resources, and get to meet some more people and volunteer a little bit of time in town. Yeah. And it's one of those things where you'd have to get appointed by the selectmen. It's not a voted-in thing by the town, it's not a ballot, which simplifies life. Next, certified mailing regarding a butters list, review of matters presented, votes may be taken.
What happened was, we had an abutter who complained that he hadn't gotten the mailing, and we realized, Joanne realized, that if you only collect the green cards, you can fill them out all you want, but you don't actually have to drop it in the mail. So, when you go to the post office, they will stamp this part. And so she was wondering if we should be collecting this part instead.
Well, also, how do you prove, like this gentleman came in and said he never received it? So when the engineer sent us the green card,
Mm-hmm.
in the assessor's office, provide them with a list, say there's 30 people on it,
Mm-hmm.
and we only get 10 of these back. How can I prove that the engineer did his job and sent out those 30 to those people.
Mhm.
If they don't give me this stamped back from the post office, how will we know? How would we be able to tell that that resident did or did not receive one? That's what we're up against now.
Right.
We couldn't prove it.
But it's signed.
If the gentleman doesn't, if the engineer doesn't go to the post office and get these stamped with the postal stamp or however they, you know, process it,
Mm-hmm.
and doesn't give it to me, how will I know? How do you know?
Yeah.
So that came up because the gentleman kept saying, well, I never got notification that you were having a meeting.
Hmm.
So I think Mary Lee called the engineer, and of course he said, oh yeah, I mailed them all out. I said, well, can I have proof?
Mhm.
Well, I gave you the green cards, but you only gave me 10 out of 30. Doesn't prove much to us, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I mean, it was just a thought because I don't know how often that happens. I don't think it happens that often.
So these come back to them
Those go back to the engineers, right?
or us?
That's the
We
one
just
I
sent
mailed.
that one out,
That's the
okay.
one, that's one I
But
sent.
those go back to the engineer,
And then they present them to us that night.
so.
But say you have, you know, not everybody picks up the mail, right? Not everybody,
Right.
but how do we make the engineer tell us or
Accountable.
prove that he mailed them all? What if he'd only mailed 10 of them? How do we know?
Well, the signature should do it, shouldn't it?
Right, but what I'm saying is, if there's 30 people on the list, right? And he only brings us 10 green cards that he received back, how do we know the other
Okay,
20
I see
actually
what
got
you're
mailed
saying.
out to the individuals?
So this way.
We would need to
he's
see it was
coming-
processed from the post office
Mhm.
to actually say
They
he
actually
sent
got it.
them out.
With that,
So who keeps that?
That night of the
whoever-
meeting,
yeah.
they give us the green cards
Right.
saying that that's
I
who
mean,
received them.
So,
Usually
he
they
should
keep
keep-
that top part.
right, so we want a copy of that?
I think he should submit that also.
I can imagine they need it.
Like, right.
No, even if he scans it in and sends this to us. I mean, this is just
Yeah.
something I noticed because now we can't help that gentleman that's saying he never got notification. We can't help him.
Mm-hmm.
And if the engineer says, well, I mailed them,
Yeah,
where's your proof that you mailed it,
yeah.
right? It's an extra step on their part that they're probably not gonna like.
Mm.
I wouldn't imagine it will hurt anybody though, I mean, you know, you have to take them to the post office anyway. Unless you're us. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're in a big place, but.
And they're all certified mailings.
Also, yeah, they're requested, if they do a notice of intent, they have to go to the assessor's office to get a certified abutters list. And then they mail those out from there.
Yeah, if there's a way to get proof that all the names on the list received or the attempt was made to mail the green cards. Sure, why not?
I think it's a good idea.
Okay, a little more CYA.
Yeah.
Paper trail.
Actually, it'll cover the engineers or whoever's sending these out,
Mhm.
you know, to make sure that everybody gets hit, so, yeah, it makes sense.
You know,
We can send out a letter.
I mean, I've never come across that in my time here or,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
before even. It just, this gentleman's saying, well, I never got notified, you know. I can't help him.
Right.
Excuse me.
I mean, I guess we could send out an email to the engineer saying we'd like to have this, you know, going further or starting as the first of the year or whatever.
Mhm.
If you guys agree to that, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, we can do that, if you guys are fine. You need to take a vote?
Yeah, I'm trying
I
to,
think so.
I'm trying to figure out a way to word the motion. There's a motion that, this office request from each, it's usually the project engineer, right?
Yeah,
Each project
engineer.
engineer, proof that all on the abutters list was sent meeting notification.
ask them to give us their
Yeah, and whatever,
certified mail receipts,
yeah,
Yeah,
also along with the green cards.
and if they want the certified mail receipts back, then just make photocopies of them and bring the receipts back. Got a copy machine in here, right?
Yes.
yeah. The other thing I was thinking of though,
Well, let's, so let's deal with the motion first, just to be procedural here. So, I'll entertain a motion to do that.
I make that motion.
Do we have a second? Any further discussion? So, now you can.
the second part to that would be, like I was talking to Marlene, if we didn't get this back before the night of the meeting, how would we also know? The person was notified.
The night of the meeting, the engineer should have the certified receipts, because he gets those at
Right,
post office.
right.
The cards, yeah, a lot of times you don't have the cards the first time they come in.
So, but what would happen is, say, everybody did get notified.
Mm-hmm.
Just have to check the receipts
Yeah.
with the butters list.
That's what I'm saying, it would be my responsibility that night. Because what happened in the end if somebody said they didn't get it, and they did? And then they're gonna start us think,
Well, it won't
it wouldn't matter.
play, it wouldn't come into play at the meeting.
Right, it wouldn't matter,
We'd be able to squash that argument pretty quickly.
yeah.
All right, so, any further discussion? So, all in favor?
I-
Right. Any opposed? Okay, so that's unanimous?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. So, on to old business. I can hold this far enough away, right? So, COC Olivera 141 Mattaquisett Road, SE 001-0519. A certificate of compliance was filed by Ronald Olivera for property located at Mattaquisett Road, map 10, lot 9A. The applicant proposed to develop the previously developed riverfront area with the construction of a new single-family home, well, driveway, on-site sewage disposal system, and grading. Applicant is represented by SNK Engineering. Finding septic system design plan. That plan is dated May 7th of 2017. So we did a site visit to that property after having done one several weeks ago and had decided to not issue a COC then. So we went back out. So it doesn't look like much has changed. But also, we know that this is more of an issue with the developer than with the property owners. So I'm still kind of stumped as to what to do here. I mean, I don't even know if there's much more I can do. I mean, trying to figure out where to go with this. Because we got a riverfront area, we've got the buffer zone. We've got silt fence that's mostly still up. We have, in some spots, I guess, that's why I'm saying mostly. We have another area, well, that's to the property. And this one, somewhat grown in. Some of it's been altered a little bit. I could park a couple of vehicles and other things. I don't know if you had similar experiences with these kinds of things, Marley.
Yeah, sometimes we have to chase people for the COC.
Mhm.
But I think, if you don't approve it tonight, I'll write a letter to the applicant and say, this is what the commission decided, blah, 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 and this is what you need to do to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
And then if in, 6 months or something, we haven't heard from them, then I'll write a letter to the homeowner saying, this moves with the land, and therefore it becomes your responsibility, if you want to refinance.
We have, I can't remember when we this last was on the agenda.
February.
Is it in either one of those folders?
the.
Yeah,
you
when
did-
it's-
I'm curious what our
You did a
comments.
site visit out there in February.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was advertised originally in June of 17,
mm-hmm.
and,
So, yeah, so we did the site visit in February.
Mhm.
yeah,
Are the meeting minutes associated with that in there, or is there somewhere?
no, probably not.
I can pull it up, so.
Yeah, that'd be good to have. This is gonna pertain to the other COC
The first
Re-
wasn't as bad as the second
requested.
one.
2/26/19 is the date she's got here on the
Mhm.
file. That was the last time you took it up at the meeting.
In 7 months, 8 months. Wow. This meeting minutes. Right, so the meeting would have been the 26th, and the site visit would have been the 23rd. So, I think our issues then were some of the grass still hadn't grown in. There was that issue of dip in between the two properties. That's grown in a bit. That was a little better. Of course, it's taken some effort by homeowner at 159
Right.
to try to rectify that. Okay. So, the commission did a site visit, found that property needs, this is for 141, property needs to be stabilized better before certificate of compliance will be issued. The bank is washing into the wetlands, silt fit, fence needs to be reestablished, reseeding grade area, and grass needs to take hold.
There was a lot of erosion still
Mm-hmm.
on the property.
Understand.
On the back. And then
Yeah.
there was that big mound, was that there the last time?
I remember that being there the last time,
Yeah.
that mound of dirt. So, that's still not right. And then, well, I'll bring this up for the next one when we open up that hearing. So, I mean, it doesn't, I mean, there are some properties we go to when it's clear that it's in compliance, the property's ready to get its COC and we move on. It's still not clear here that things are stabilized yet. You know, again, there's that spot along the driveway where the silt fence could be reestablished. I lifted it up. I mean, that area is not the problem. It's directly behind the house where there's still erosion and grass isn't taken yet. And that mound of dirt, I don't know if that came from Olivera or if it came from a resident of that property, but it's pretty close to the flag line.
And it should be removed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. So, if anybody else has any comments on this?
If anything, I thought it was not quite as good as it was the first house when we went in February. The second house which is, I don't know, I'm not sure which way the numbers run. But
First one we went to was 140,
141.
141.
so that's the one where you guys parked in the driveway,
Right,
it's
right.
141.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That one, I think, had deteriorated somewhat since we had looked at it. The other one was in about the same condition. And they need to put some topsoil on top of all that sand and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That
Some-
wasn't right,
Some of the green on top of it.
right, take it down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because the sand's going to just keep washing down into the wetlands. It's not going to stop.
Right.
yeah. So the first one, you want the mound of dirt taken off.
They're taken off, and that area is going to be seeded and stabilized. And part of it is, some of it still isn't. Yeah. And Merrily goes with Ron Olivera, or Ron meets us on a subsequent Saturday morning, and we point out what we want fixed.
That would work well if he was available.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't want a war on his hands with two of his customers. This is easily fixed. doesn't need to,
Yeah.
doesn't need to be dragged out like this. There are easy solutions for it. We'll fix it.
I'll see if we can do it right there.
Mm-hmm.
So we deny?
So I'll entertain a motion to deny the COC for
I'll make the
141.
motion that we hold the COC.
Second? Yep. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that's unanimous. And then, COC Olivera, 159 Mattapoisett Road, SE 001-0520. Certificate of compliance was filed by Ronald Olivera for property located at Mattapoisett Road, map 10 lot 9C. The applicant proposed demolition of an existing home and barn in the buffer zone with bordering vegetated wetland, construction of a new single-family home, septic, grading, and well in the buffer zone. The applicant is represented by SNK Engineering, plan name, septic system, design plan dated May 7 of 2017. And here we have the same issue. One thing, I think that area in between the two properties was slightly better. But as was noted in the minutes from February 26, Commission did a site visit, noted that this property was stabilized and the grading was different than the adjoining property. So on what property is a washout located? We couldn't determine property lines. I don't know, it still seems like it could be a little better.
Yeah, well, and that's the one that had the biggest area of sand.
Right, and I know that, that was an addition by the current property, or the current resident, because technically Olivera still owns it. This guy said he had Ron Olivera put that stuff in.
Yes, he
Yes,
did.
he said
Yeah,
Oliver put the sand.
he
Yeah,
expected loan, I think.
yeah, so then he's still gotta come in and put something on it so it doesn't wash away, because it's gonna go straight behind the property and past the flag line into the resource.
How about the fill with the tires and?
Oh, that's front yard, yeah, that's beyond us.
And the washout from the front, the grading, it's, it has to, have it trenched out. Is
Yeah.
that something that he
Me-
should have done, or?
I think that's something we'll add to our list of things we'll talk about. He's gonna have to meet us out there so we can
Yeah.
be specific and explicit and
That's all.
not have any confusion
Mhm.
or ambiguity. All right. So, entertain a motion to deny COC.
I'll make a motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Yep. Yes.
Any opposed, abstaining, it's unanimous. New business. Do we have any new business?
Not really.
Okay. Do you have any updates for us?
There's a presentation at the planning board on Thursday night that if any of you guys are available, I would really like it if you could go. It's about this MS4 program, the stormwater program from that the EPA has handed down to the towns. And up until now, I've been kind of the sole person doing this. A lot of it falls to the DPW, but paperwork and stuff has been made, and they're coming to audit us on the 6th of November, which I'm not thrilled about. But the presentation should be, short and sweet, half an hour probably.
Starting at what time?
And it starts at 6:45. 6:45.
So I'm working late that night, so we'll see.
So, yeah, so if anybody's free, that would be great. And if not, it should be recorded.
Okay.
So, and that's about all I
And
have.
that's just down the hall here,
What's that?
on this
Next door,
floor?
right
Yeah.
right there, yeah. And there are 2 violations that I'm working on getting in here.
Okay.
I sent them applications today, so hopefully they'll get the hints and actually fill it out and bring it in. So, but that's about it. Everybody else seems to be doing, you know, what they can get done before the winter sets
Mhm.
in.
Any filings yet for the next meeting? Anybody else with business for the commission? So the next scheduled meeting is Tuesday, November 12th at 6 p.m. And prior to that is this Thursday night presentation next door for the planning commission regarding stormwater. 6:45. All right, in that case, Ted, would you do us the honors?
Make a motion to adjourn.
We have a second.
Second,
All in favor?
aye.
Meeting adjourned at 6:26 p.m.